Hi everyone, welcome to Active Self-Protection Extra. Today we're here at the beautiful Tallgrass Shooting Sports in Manhattan, Kansas, getting ready for our national conference. I'm out here right behind the camera. I have Neil, our Director of Training, and our Chief Marketing Officer for Aspen. He's going to get on camera in a minute, but I want to show you something kind of interesting. One of the things we talked about all the time is, range theatrics, and I've watched tons of good videos about range theatrics on YouTube. But I want to talk about what the realities actually are and how maybe you can practice this in your dry fire if you don't have an incredible range like this. Palm pepper spray has recently reformulated for even more effect when you bless the deserving with the hot sauce. Palm is what I use between a harsh word and a gun and encourage everyone to do likewise. So what you see all the time is I'm not going to shoot right now, but I might go out and shoot this target and go bang, 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 pew, pew, pew. I get all the pew that I'm going to pew. And then what you see people do is I go, okay, I've finished shooting this target, and then I follow the target to the ground and I scan or I assess and see if there's anything else there, and then I scan to the right and I scan to the left and I look for things, and then I put my gun away in the holster. And that is, in my opinion, a range Haka. That is just a range game that we play. Now, why do we do that? Well, a lot of times people say, okay, so I'm following my target to the ground, except for you don't actually have a target that's going to the ground. If I had a target that was falling to the ground, I would do that. But I don't actually have a target that's falling to the ground, so why would I simulate something that I'm not actually seeing? I'm training myself to do something that is just dumb, that I'm not actually doing. Secondly, if I am just looking this way, in a real threat, would I ever do that in a real defensive encounter? Well, the problem is, of course, is that if I do that, now let's just say I look over here to the right and there's a threat over here. So let's come over and take a look. So now here we are over here and I actually have a threat. So if I was over here and I had a threat, well, what in the world am I going to have to do? So let's come back over here to where we were. And if, for instance, now the cool part here at Tallgrass is we have basically a 360-degree range, is that I have berms all around me, so I can do this kinds of stuff. Now, why do we only do this whole look this way? Because we're trying to say, well, we want to break our visual focus here so that we're not looking at that. Well, why don't I just tell people then look up at the sky? So I've broken my visual focus, right? I mean, I've done the same thing, but instead I go, no, look over your shoulder because there might be somebody there. So if I go, oh, okay, cool, there might be somebody over there, but of course, if there is somebody over there, what do I now have to do? I have to bring the gun over there, right? I have to defend myself over there. Well, how am I going to do that? Well, probably here I'm going to step, turn, and go and address that target. But going and addressing that target in this environment, I would never want to not have my gun over here when I saw that target. That's going to be much, much harder. Now, of course, you saw when we moved over there, I have a strong berm over here, so I can do that. Well, in a regular range environment, I just wouldn't have that. But we got to recognize the range Haka for what it is and the range, just environment for what it is, and recognize that this is not real life. Because what would really happen if I pew-pewed this guy and I thought there could be something over there, I would never turn my head here and leave my gun pointed in a direction that I don't know what is going on that way. I would certainly, if I saw that, I would go, oh, okay, bang, bang, I get done with my work. Now I'm going to come this way and see what's going with my gun with me. Now I know you're going to look at that and go, but John, that's of course you'd never do that because there might be somebody standing next to you at the range and that's an unsafe environment. Yes, so now you're starting to recognize that what we're doing here when we're doing the scan and assess is a range game, nothing but a range game. And that's why I don't like to do it. That's why you'll see me on camera all the time. I will finish this target, and if I know that's the end of my drill, I just finish, break contact, and put my gun away. I don't even worry about it, because otherwise than that, it's just a range Haka, quite frankly. And instead, if I can get on a range like this, and I have a safe environment where I have an instructor with me who knows what they're doing, knows how to do this in a safe way, we can do something like, oh, I don't know, follow me. Well, maybe we can start in an environment where we have this target, but not only that target, we've got a second target here. And then we come around this way and we see the fact that we've got a third target that we've talked about here. Now, so far we've got about 120 degrees, but we're not done yet. So now we come over here and we have a fourth target, and all the way over here, we have a fifth target. Well, that's kind of fun, don't you think? Now, if you can do this in a safe environment, you see we've got some berms all the way around. We can actually do this one all the way around. Now, of course, the easy mode of this is to start here at the far side and then work our way around. And that's kind of a fun drill. Now to do that and do that in a safe environment, we're gonna have to move the camera just a little bit, make sure that we don't muzzle anybody who doesn't need to be muzzled. If we wanted to add a little spice, little spiciness to the drill, then what we would do is, let's come over here and perhaps we start in the middle. And then we say, okay, wait a minute. Now I've got to go and transition over to the one here that's just to the left. However, we might say that that double barrel there, that black barrel, represents a no shoot, represents something and somebody that I can't point a gun at. That being the case, I'm going to have to avert my muzzle either down and away from it or up and over it. I always recommend down. That's a better way as a general rule. We talked about a safe direction in another video. So if I come over here and I address that target, it's still a no shoot. I have to come back around and address this target on the other side because I've got another bad guy. Now, of course, in real world environments, we've said on the channel many times that we almost never address more than 2 bad guys before everybody else gets the hint and finds better ways to live their life and other things to do that day. However, maybe we don't have that today. Maybe we continue working the drill to give us a little bit more practice. So then I finish engaging this guy. Now I come all the way over and back to the other guy here, but I can't muzzle this target. So I've got to come around, dip my muzzle. There's my target and engage my far target over on this side. Then guess what? Now, here's where things can get even spicier, right? If I have a true 360-degree range like we have here today, I can choose which way am I going to go. I can come back this way. Now, of course, if we weren't on a tripod and instead we had a friend involved in this filming, we would be very cautious and careful of that and probably would not want to come this way for fear that we would not be as muzzle disciplined as we wanted to be, because the big boy rules say we trust adults not to point guns at people. We always keep firearms pointed in a safe direction. We always keep our finger off the trigger and high and along the slide until we have made the decision to fire. And so therefore we could come this way if we really trusted that person that we were with and we knew that they would not muzzle us with a gun. But probably for the range safety, what we would come back the other way again and engage this final target way over on the other side. That makes me again cross over my no shoot. Now, I would have a no shoot if I went this other way instead, but a true honest to God no shoot with real consequences. So we're going to avoid that in today's environment. So I'm going to invite Neil on camera with me.
All right.
And go, Neil, what do you think?
I think this is going to be fun. There's actual, practical stuff going on here, but we can't do this anywhere else.
There's almost nowhere you're going to be able to do this in reality. This is one of the reasons I really think you want to take a class with somebody who is, a real reputable instructor. Because sometimes if I can set up a great range like this, we can do stuff like this and bring students on one at a time and do that in a safe environment and allow them to really move with a gun in their hand in a way we can't do otherwise.
Right. And there's a lot of places where this kind of stuff goes on and it's not really a safe environment.
It is really not a safe environment.
This is pretty cool. We're the only 2 out here. The gate's shut. Nobody can get in. The owners know who's out here. Yeah. This is a safe thing. We've really taken some precaution here.
So you've taken 500-600 hours of firearms instruction?
Yeah.
How many times have you gotten to do stuff like this?
Tim Herron's class would be the closest thing to moving with a gun.
Competitive shooting.
Yep.
I would say we do some of this stuff. Tim Herron's shooting performance class, probably about as close as we got. So I tell you what, want to shoot it?
Yeah.
Let's do it. So to do this correctly, to actually do this, I want to talk about footwork a little bit, all right? So we don't normally give a darn about feet. Normally we settle our feet, we go and we shoot, or we're going to be moving a few steps either way or something, or we're going to be walking forward or backwards doing some movement drills. So we don't really care about footwork. But actually now, because we are transitioning significantly and we are turning significantly, we do care about footwork. And so where does this footwork come from? The best way to do this is what we learn in martial arts, actually. It's actually one of the reasons that I love people who come to the shooting community through the martial arts community, because they understand this stuff a whole lot better. So when I'm here and shooting at this first target, what do I have to do here? I'm just gonna stand and deliver. So I'm standing my normal strong side foot slightly back, weight slightly forward, athletic stance. But now I'm going to transition with a drop of my muzzle to shooting this target. Now I can, if I want to, just drop and engage here. But if I do that, you'll notice that my feet end up backwards. It's not the end of the world that my feet end up backwards, that my support side foot is back. But I could, if I wanted to, I see that coming here and I say, there's that, and I might step forward here. So then that way what I'm doing is I am then engaging this target from a position that I'm comfortable in. Now then, I have to come back around this guy and see what's going on behind me. Here is something that I learned from my martial arts instructor, Lawrence Robinson, from Skip Hancock, and his entire system of the Path to Excellence and UMAS. And that is, because I see this way, this is the safe environment. What I cannot see behind me is an unknown environment. So if I have to step and I'm gonna look behind me because my next target is behind me, then what I'm gonna actually do here is one of two things. If I want to turn back this way, I'm going to step all the way through so that I can turn and face what's coming my way and then adjust as I need to and adjust outward. Now, if I was here and I was going the other way, because I'm here, bang, bang, the fast motion here is simply to step over and turn. But of course, then that sets me up with my feet backwards. I don't mind that too much, but it's something to be aware of. Then I might either step back into my shooting stance or simply shoot with my feet goofy. And if you can't shoot with your feet goofy, then you really ought to learn to shoot a pistol with your feet goofy on occasion, because your feet are going to end up goofy sometimes, all right? But let's say from back here, I went from this direction here. I'm setting with my feet, bang, bang, bang. I decided I don't want to point a muzzle here. I'm going to step over, turn, engage this target, bang, bang, bang. Now I got to think I've got something the other way, but I'm going to scan back this way because that's where my direction that I think that I might have danger coming from. Cool, same thing here. I'm going to start scanning, and as I get to the limits of where my body is, I'm going to step out and keep making that turn. See that target. My feet are goofy. I don't care. Engage this target. Bang, bang, bang. Again, I didn't muzzle this target. I'm going to come back around this way. Keep stepping through. See my target. Bang, bang, bang. And now I'm going to come back around again and see what's going. Now, one of the things that you notice here as I'm doing that at the end is that I am using what's available to me coming this way. Now I can step back with this foot here to keep scanning and giving my hips ability to move here. When I need it, I step forward so I give my hips more ability to turn, step back to give my hips more ability to turn. So when I want to turn that way, I think about moving my feet to open my hips so that I can continue to see what's going on and keep this top part of me in a stable environment so that if I need to shoot, I can. A lot of explanation. Shut up, John. Let's shoot. First iteration, let's put some rounds in the gun. I am just going to put 2 shots on each one, and I'm just going to slowly walk through it so that you can kind of get a feel for this. I am going to say, your ability to do this on a live fire range would be only with a competent instructor. But you can, if you could set up a real safe environment, you got a basement or something like that that you can dry fire in, you could set this up for dry fire and do this in your dry fire dojo, but only if you have a real safe environment to do so, because you don't want to be pointing a gun around at a real gun or something like that. You could do that if you barrel block your gun, if you have a blue gun or something like that. That's the kind of environment you could practice that in. But here, we could shoot it, so let's shoot. So you know where my targets are. You don't have to. You don't have to be moved. We're not going to move all around. I just want you to kind of get a feel for how I'm moving and how I'm seeing things. So I'm going to describe them each way as I go. I'm going to use my big boy words so you can kind of listen in. So I'm going to start by drawing my firearm here and putting 2 shots in this person. I'm going to see. Look with my eyes first. Now I've got to go and address that person and not muzzle my no shoot. So I come around, step into this particular one, see it. Get a couple of good high center chest hits here. Now I'm thinking there's something going on behind me. Go around my no shoot. See what's going on. See my target here. Got a couple there. Now I'm going to go back the other way. Interesting thing here. I want to make sure that I take my finger off the trigger because I don't intend to shoot right now. So it's high and along the slide. Great. I got that. Now I'm going to see what's going. There's my target. Step into it. Get a couple of good shots there. No muzzling my bad guy. My good guy. There's a nice one. Got all of that, see my stuff. Now I'm going to come back and see, do I have any more threats to shoot? I don't, so I'm going to see one more time. I'm good. And I safely holster. Let's go see if I got my hits, shall we? I did not shoot super fast, so let's come and see. So, 2 good alphas here. 2 good alphas here. Let's keep on a-trucking. 2 good alphas here. Again, I didn't shoot real fast here. I didn't feel the need to really go hard. 2 good alphas here. 2 good alphas here. Hopefully you got to see, wow, that's a lot of thinking and moving with a gun in your hand. I'm telling you, once your marksmanship standards are high, thinking with a gun in your hand is the way. Let's let Neil shoot it, shall we? All right, Neilio, you feeling good about this?
I'm down. Let's go.
Now, I know, okay, so again, I've got a bunch of martial artsy stuff and I can do the tap dancery and all that stuff. It's not been your background so much, so I want you to just take your time and get your footwork right. Get after it, friend.
You bet. Say when.
Huckleberry. Okay, you're gonna see that next guy, don't muzzle. Back the other way, don't muzzle, don't muzzle. See them coming. Excellent, back the other way, see what's going, don't muzzle, move your feet as you need to. Back the other way, don't muzzle. That last one, go and scan, go and see what else is going on. Don't muzzle, there you go, very good. You see any other problems?
Nope.
Safely holster. Tell me about that.
That's
Tell me about the
fun.
experience.
It's interesting. I mean, one of the big things is, of course, to be cognizant of you standing right there.
Right.
That's a big deal. But it's interesting just to have your eyes go back and forth, and those barrels there,
they're easy to forget.
it's easy to forget that. Yeah, it really is. And to come down around them, that was interesting. That was something I wasn't ready for.
So again, as a good guy, you might very well have to do this and do it in a hurry. So we got to shoot 10 shots here. You ready to do it fast?
Yeah.
Ready to do it with a little bit of speed?
Yeah.
Okay, you feel like you're going to be safe and comfortable doing it?
Yeah,
Let's
for
see,
sure.
you get it, son. Better put a new mag in your gun because you don't got 10 in it. Okay, Neil, so now you are going to get after it and you are going to do this. Now again, a couple things. No muzzling my no shoot. No coming back and muzzling me. And you need to get after these guys and get your hits and not wait because the competition is the bad guys want to kill you.
Got it.
Okay? Okay, if you're done, safely holster. Now, interesting thing that I saw here. What'd you notice?
I got them out of order from what we did first time.
So you went 1, 2 way over here, so all the way to the far left rather than to this first one. Then back to the closer one over here, back to the closer one over here, back to that one over there. So that's just what you saw.
Yeah, that was what popped up in my head. I'm like, wow, this is, and I felt it right as I went by there. I'm like, no, oh, okay.
All right, so tell me about your experience internally.
Internally, it was interesting. You can't see your shots on these targets very well.
Yeah, they're hard to see, right?
I did see that I went low on that one, so that's why I shot 3 at the last one.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, that one wasn't 2 good hits, but it was, it's just a different feeling. It's something that we don't do. This is the first time I've really done something like this on the humanoid type targets. It's interesting.
Yeah. All right, my turn. Let's see if I can get after it.
Get after it.
Let's just add time pressure. I mean, why not, right? So let's have a little bit of time pressure because that adds to the pressure. Let's see what we can do. Lost my dot there. Didn't miss that one like I wanted. There's that. Okay. 13:21 was my time. Did I muzzle anybody?
Nope.
Okay, so I think I got all my hits. I did miss one low there, so I set it up again. Missed one high there, so I set it up again. So I had to take a couple follow-up shots. So how do you mess with this? How do you do this? Well, you do it under instruction. But that's a far cry from the range Haka. And this is why I just don't think the general down really does a whole lot of anything. Because in a real environment, I'm gonna move with my feet.